Welcome to www.happynumbers.org. Today's lesson is changing percents to fractions, and this is the second part. In part one, we looked at some very simple ways of changing percents to fractions. Let's take 80%, and we know that 80% is really 80 over 100. We want to reduce this to its lowest name, so we can cross these zeros out, and now we want to reduce 8/10. Well, 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So 80% would be 4/5. And that's a very, very simple way that we talked about. The second way we talked about was if we had a problem like this. Let's take 11 5/10%. Well, then the first thing we have to do is change this percent to a decimal fraction. And again, we're going from P to D. So we're going to go this way 2 places. So the decimal fraction is 115 thousandths. So now we write it like that, and we get rid of that. Now we have a fraction. Now we have to make sure that that is reduced to its lowest name. And we can divide this by 5 and by 5. 5 goes into 115 23 times. 5 goes into 1,000 200 times, and that's our answer. So those are the 2 ways we've talked about changing percents to fractions in part 1. Now in part 2, we're going to take a look at a problem that looks something like this. Suppose we had 6 2/3%. Well, now we have a fraction in our percent, 6 2/3%. First thing we do is we write the number 6 2/3 as our denominator, as our numerator, pardon me, the top, and we know this is denominator 100. So now we're doing 6 2/3 divided by 100. Well, if you remember in fractions, 6 2/3 divided by 100 over 1, we have to rewrite the problem. 6 2/3, we change it into multiplication, and we use the reciprocal of this, 1 over 100. Now we have to change this mixed number. I'm going to come over here. So now we have to change this into a improper fraction so we can work with it. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. So I get 20/3 times 1 over 100. Now I can cancel. 20 goes into 20 1 time. 20 goes into 100 5 times. And now I multiply. 1/15. So to change 6 2/3% into a fraction, we use 6 2/3 as our numerator. We know this means denominator 100. So this means 100. 6 2/3 divided by 100. So 6 2/3 divided by 100. We know when we're dividing fractions, we rewrite the problem. 6 2/3 times, and we use the reciprocal. We flip it upside down, 1 over 100. Then we have to change our mixed number into an improper fraction, and then we do our multiplication. So quite a few steps here, quite a few steps. Let's try one more here. Let's take, let's take this one, 4 1/6%. So the first step is I write 4 1/6 as my numerator, and this means denominator 100. So now I have 4 1/6 divided by 100. 4 1/6 divided by 100, or 100 over 1, same thing. Well, I know now in division of fractions, I have to rewrite the problem. 4 1/6 times, and I use the reciprocal, 1 over 100. Now I'm going to change this mixed number to an improper fraction. 6 times 4, 24, and 1 is 25 sixths times 1 over 100. Now I can cancel. 25 goes into 25 once. 25 goes into 100 4 times. Now I multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 4, 24. Good. Good. Few steps in this. It's not quite as easy as the other ones. Okay, let's put up one here for you. Let's go 8 1/3%, and I want you to change that into a fraction. So put the video or DVD on pause, work the problem, and then turn it back on again. Good. Let's see how you did. First, we write this as the numerator, 8 1/3 over 100. So this is 8 1/3 divided by 100. So 8 1/3 divided by 100 over 1, which is the same as 8 1/3 times 1 over 100. Because we're dividing fractions, we have to turn it into multiplication and use the reciprocal, the opposite. Now I have to change that into an improper fraction, the mixed number, so I can work with it. 3 times 8 is 24, and 1 is 25 thirds times 1 over 100. Now I can cancel. 25 goes into 25 one time. 25 goes into 100 4 times. Multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. And so I have changed 8 1/3% into the fraction 1/12. Well, okay, quick review of all three ways. Quick review of all three ways that we've changed fractions. First, 15%. Here we just wrote 15 over 100. Very simple, and we reduce the lowest terms. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times. So that was our first method of changing percents to decimals. Let's take a look at another method. Let's take a look at the example that we used, 32 8/10%. Well, we have to change this percent into a decimal. We're going from percent to decimal 2 places this way. So this becomes 328, and then we make this a fraction, so it'll be 328 thousandths. So we take the decimal point away, and now we have to reduce it to its lowest name, and we divide by 8 and divide by 8. And when we divide, pardon me, when we divide 328 by 8, we get 41, and when we divide 1,000 by 8, we get 125. And then the third way that we did, which was the one that we just looked at, we had 6 2/3%. Well, we go 6 2/3 as the numerator over denominator 100. Now that equals 6 2/3 divided by 100 over 1, which is the same as 6 2/3 times 1 over 100. Now we have to change this mixed number. Let me erase this and get some room. 3 times 6 is 18, 19, 20. So we get 20 thirds times 1 over 100. We cancel. 20 goes into 20 once. 20 goes into 100 5 times. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 5, 15. Well, there we go. those are the three different ways of changing. Oh, my 10 minutes is up. I was right on time. Those are the three different methods of changing. Just let me shut this off. Those are the three different methods of changing percents to fractions. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.